Okay, so if you're a teacher, you know the struggle, right? How do you make a STEM lesson that's not just another page in a textbook, but something that actually gets your students excited? Well, today, we're going to dive into a guy that has a really cool answer. It's all about using a powerful method called design thinking.
So let's kind of set the scene here. The problem in STEM isn't that there are no good ideas out there. Far from it. The real hurdle is, how do you take those amazing ideas and get them off the page and into a hands-on, unforgettable experience for your students?
And that's really the big question this whole guide is trying to answer. How can you design a lesson that brings together different subjects and actually makes students want to learn? That's the dream, right?
I mean, it's a huge ask, isn't it? You're trying to mix things like art or history with science and math, make it actually matter to a teenager. And then you have to coordinate with other teachers who are just as busy as you are. It's no wonder so many great lesson plans just fizzle out.
But what if there was a roadmap for all this? You know, a practical, step-by-step process that helps you navigate those exact challenges and turn all that brainstorming into something real for the classroom? Well, that is exactly what this guide is.
At its heart, this guide is a step-by-step roadmap that's all built around the design thinking method. It's made to help teachers work together to create those awesome interdisciplinary STEM activities that we've been talking about.
So the big question is, how does this actually work? Well, the whole process is broken down into 7 key stages. And the really important thing to remember here is that this isn't some rigid, step-by-step list you have to follow perfectly. It's more of a flexible cycle.
These 7 stages are your roadmap. They're designed to take you from a little spark of an idea all the way to a fully tested activity in your classroom. All right, let's jump in and look at the first one.
All right, first up we have stage 1,
which is all about defining the subjects. You can think of this as the foundation for everything else. It's where the whole teaching team gets together and decides, okay, what curriculum topics are we going to focus on? This way, everybody is on the same page right from the get-go.
Okay, moving on to stage 2, which builds right on top of that.
Defining the stakeholders. And listen, this is way broader than you might think. We're not just talking about the students. We're talking about everyone who's affected. Families, the school administration, you name it. The goal is to make sure the lesson works for the entire community.
Stage 3 is where empathy really comes into play. It's time to
observe. This is where you actually step away from the planning and just watch and listen. You're conducting interviews, you're observing students in their natural habitat, so to speak. This is how you figure out what actually resonates with them, what really makes them tick. So, once you've done all that observing, you've got to make sense of it all. And that brings us to stage 4.
Develop a point of view. This is where you take all those little insights and observations and boil them down into one super clear problem statement. This statement is going to be your guiding star for the rest of the creative process.
Okay, now for the really fun part. This is where the creative floodgates open. Stage 5, ideate. This is your classic no-holds-barred brainstorming session. Anything goes. The whole point is to generate a ton of ideas. The guide even gives a fun example, like brainstorming around the question, how do you stop ice cream from melting?
But ideas are just ideas until you make them real, right? So that's where we move on to
Stage 6, prototype. And don't let the word prototype scare you. This is not about building something perfect. It's just about creating a simple, low-effort version of your lesson. It could be a sketch, a simple model, whatever. Just something to make the idea tangible and testable.
And finally, we get to maybe the most important step of all, taking it for a test drive in the real world. Stage 7 is test. Yep, this is where the rubber meets the road. You take that prototype, you bring it into the classroom, and you get honest-to-goodness feedback from your students. Then you take that feedback and use it to tweak and improve the activity until it absolutely shines. So when you put all these pieces together, what you get is so much more than just a lesson plan. It's a whole new way of thinking about and designing learning experiences for your students.
The whole point of this is to give teachers real, practical tools. Tools that help them design activities that build those crucial 21st century skills. And really, at the end of the day, it's about building a more confident, more capable, and more STEM literate society, one classroom at a time.
You know, the author of the guide really says it perfectly. They say their work is about inspiring educators to become proactive designers of their own learning environments. And that's just a powerful way to put it, isn't it? It's a great reminder that teachers are the real architects of what happens in the classroom.